Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Jost on a Boxing. A couple of interesting developments with the George Kambosos Devin Haney fight. As you may have heard, Kambosos missed weight by 3 ounces. That can mean one or two things. It can mean, number one, it's completely irrelevant, doesn't matter. He missed it by 3 ounces, not like it's 3 pounds, Doesn't necessarily hint at anything major, but you could argue that it's quite an unprofessional way to go about your business, not making weight. It's a basic tenet of being involved in any kind of prize fight. Number two is that Haney's father has gained entry into Australia, so he'll be in his corner. Now, okay, I accept that if you miss weight, even by a single ounce, it can have meaning, but normally that meaning is psychological. I missed weight. What went wrong? A couple of questions appear in your head, and that can have some sort of impact on your psyche, where you're sort of maybe second guessing yourself slightly, even maybe subconsciously you're second guessing yourself. Like I say, it might have no meaning at all. It might not matter to Kambosos. He might think, oh, no big deal. I'm sure his team are telling him that. But the flip side of that is that Haney will take some sort of positive from that. Oh, he didn't make weight. You're not very professional, are you? I mean, they've already had severe words. And I thought it was very interesting, the reaction during the very heated face-off immediately after the weigh-in, because Kambosos is normally very contained, likes to play those, silly mind games, which got into Teofimo Lopez's head, or apparently seemed to anyway. But he was looking really irate and a real vein-popping scowl on his face when he was facing Haney. Haney was talking trash to him, probably saying, you didn't make weight, you're unprofessional, you're not a true champion, you're a punk, you're a bum, and all this stuff. And Kambosos was biting it, at least from the expression on his face, or he was giving it large in order to kind of pep himself up. Because I think a lot of trash talk is down to individuals trying to get themselves into the zone, trying to convince themselves more than anything. They talk about mind games. I think very often the mind games are directed inwards rather than at the opponent. Pep yourself up, get yourself ready. I'm the greatest. It's kind of like a mindfulness or a visualization exercise, except that it's very loud and it's very out there. You're not doing it internally, you're doing it externally. But the intention is the same, to look inwards and get yourself in the zone, ready to fight, complete self-belief. I got the feeling that during that face-off, I thought Kambosos was disappointed that he hadn't made weight, and it did have an impact on him, and he was basically trying to paper over the cracks with a lot of very intense, probably sincere aggression. And Haney was the one behaving very, very calmly and probably thinking, 1-0 to me. You missed weight. I didn't, mate. I made weight. I've come all this way. It's such a long journey from America to Australia, but he got there in plenty of time. He's acclimatized. Metabolism's probably sorted itself out, over a little bit of time. He said he'd hired a nutritionist. He's made weight very easily, Haney, for this fight, because there's no secret he has struggled in the past to make weight, and there's no secret that he's a very big lightweight. So interesting. As far as Haney's father being let into Australia, that again can only be a big plus, a big boost, if you like, for Devin Haney. He's got his father in his corner. Yoel Judah was going to be his chief cornerman, but now his dad's there. How can that not lift him? He said afterwards, it means everything to me. And I bet it does. I'll bet, he's focused and he's very on the money for this fight. He's made weight. At the 11th hour, his dad's been let in. And again, the flip side of that, going over to Kambosos, is, are the planets aligning against me? I missed weight only by 3 ounces, but I still missed weight. Suddenly his dad's been allowed in. Kambosos is a very, for want of a better word, a spiritual man. He's into all this I mean, people like myself would call it woo-woo nonsense, but, you know, if it has a psychological effect, it has some meaning. And, you know, something doesn't have to be true. Something doesn't have to be fact for it to inspire you. People get inspired by all sorts of beliefs or causes, regardless of whether they're true or not, or regardless of whether they're worthy. And Kambosos is one of those guys who feeds off that type of energy, that type of psychological padding, if you like. And I think, again, you have to look at the you know, there's a yin and a yang to everything. You have to look at the opposition to that type of mindset, which is that if things appear to be aligning against you, like missing weight, your opponent's father, suddenly he's in the corner, you know, you can get to, that mindset can flip to the point where you're thinking, the planets are aligning against me. And I just wonder if Kambosos, if this is having a very negative effect on Kambosos. There's no doubt that in the Teofimo Lopez fight, everything was falling into place in favour of him. Not least of all the fact that Lopez was clearly taking him lightly and saying he was going to do him in a round and then having complete disdain for him. That all worked for Kambosos. In this case, in front of all his own people, 50, 60,000 of them, with all that, you know, pressure, which may be it may be subconscious. Some fighters revel in that type of environment, like Tyson Fury is a good example. He loves the big crowd and everything. It peps him up. It gets the juices flowing. Kambosos, though, he's never done that before in front of his own people by the tens of thousands. And yeah, okay, you know, he says he's up for it, but it's got to be some sort of pressure. Maybe subconsciously. I know these are not normal people we're talking about, these fighters that do these incredible things. You know, they have a sort of mindset which is the sort of thing that some of us can only sort of dream of or can only imagine. But at the same time, the pressure must be there, even if it's underlying. And I just wonder if Kambosos is feeling that pressure a little bit now, especially as the signs from the gods are going against him. Missing weight. Haney's father is suddenly in town, you know. Do you know what I mean? I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. Because God knows Kambosos proved me wrong against Teofimo Lopez. Jesus Christ, did he ever? He proved a lot of us wrong. But I do wonder about this fight. I do wonder. My prediction was that Kambosos would win a close decision. And I'm going to stick with that because I don't believe in changing your mind. But circumstances change. This is why making predictions is so difficult. So I know I'm going to resist the temptation to say, oh, I'm not so sure now, but yeah, I'm not so sure now. Yeah, no, I don't know. I'll stick with Kambosos, but Haney, this is definitely a couple of pluses for Devin Haney, and yeah. There you are, you know. Fights on Sunday. At least it's on Sunday UK time. Is it UK? Is it Sunday in Australia when they fight? I don't know. I think it might be. But UK time, yeah, it's definitely UK time on Sunday. So what do you think about these little developments? Do you think they've got any meaning at all or not? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? If you are new to this channel, then you could please subscribe. I'd appreciate that. Just trying to build the numbers. I've kind of plateaued out about 570 in subscribers, so we need to get it rocking and rolling again. But yeah, thanks for your time as always. Leave your comments below. Like the video, that always helps the channel as well if you hit the like button. And we shall speak again. Looking forward to the fight. Take care. Speak soon. Bye-bye for now.